Welcome to Believe in the Dream with your host, RJ Horner, life architect and beacon of leadership. The show where we help you discover your purpose, design your path, and do the work to live the life of your dreams. Each week, we'll explore the mindset, the principles, and the practical steps that turn dreamers into doers and vision into reality. This is Believe in the Dream.
Hello, my friends. Welcome. I'm your host, RJ Horner. Welcome to the Believe in the Dream. I'm your host, RJ Horner, and before anything else, I want to say this. Thank you for pressing play today. Of all the podcasts you could be listening to, of all the voices compelling your attention, you chose to be here, and that tells me something. It tells me there's a dream still inside of you alive. Maybe it's quiet. Maybe it's been buried under responsibilities, disappointment, and delay. This podcast isn't just another emotional show. It's not hype. It's not noise. Believe in the Dream is a movement, a mission, a message straight from the heart. Because I believe deeply that every dreamer deserves a voice and every vision deserves a plan. Here we explore what it truly means to dream big, believe in yourself, and intentionally build a life of purpose, fulfillment, and impact. Now, before I tell you where this podcast is going, I want to tell you where it was born. Because Believe in the Dream didn't come from success. It came from struggle. It came from seasons of uncertainty, self-doubt, and starting over many times over. I've always felt called to something more. Even as a young man, I knew I wasn't meant to live small, play it safe, or simply exist. I felt a pull towards leadership, toward building, toward helping others see what was possible. But knowing you're called and believing you're capable are two very different things. There were moments in my life where everything looked good on the outside, but inside, I felt stuck. Moments where I questioned my direction. Moments where the dream felt bigger than my confidence. Moments where the dream was far too big or powerful for me to take on as an assignment. I remember asking myself, am I really good enough? Who am I to think I can lead people? And what if I fail and everyone sees it? And maybe the hardest question of all, what if I'm wrong about my dream? If you ever wrestled with thoughts like that, I want to know that you're not broken. You're human. You see, one of the greatest lessons I've learned is this. Doubt doesn't mean your dream is wrong. It usually means your dream is real. If your vision didn't matter, it wouldn't be challenged. If your calling wasn't significant, it wouldn't be tested. And there were seasons, real seasons, where I almost let fear talk me out of my future, where comfort tried to replace calling, when survival tried to steal my significance, but something inside me wouldn't let that go. That something was belief. And that's why this show exists. Because Believe in the Dream is for the dreamer who feels like time is running out. It's for the leader who's playing small and keeps trying to stay safe. The visionary who knows there's more but doesn't know where to start. This is for you if you've ever felt stuck between who you are and who you know you were meant to be. So what can you expect from this podcast? Every episode will explore the foundations of the dream builder's journey: belief, vision, purpose, leadership, mindset, and execution. You'll hear real stories from people who didn't quit when it got hard. Practical strategies from myself and from those leaders who have achieved their dreams or are working to achieve their dreams. Timeless principles that turn intention into transformation. But more than anything, this podcast will help you challenge and stop waiting for permission and start giving yourself the freedom to dream again. I teach what I live, and one framework you'll hear often is this: believe, conceive, achieve. It's built on 3 words that I learned from Napoleon Hill, who said, if anything the mind of man can believe and conceive, he can achieve. And so I took those 3 words, and it's become my mission to help you believe in the dream that you're creating, to conceive of the plan that's going to build the life by design, and then take the steps towards the achievement of the life of your dreams. Everything begins with belief. Belief shapes vision. Vision demands action, But let me be honest with you. This is where this journey is not linear. It's not clean and it's definitely not comfortable. You will not go from A to B directly. You will have ups and downs. You will step forward and step backwards. You will fail before you succeed quite often. You will face adversity on this journey. You will face delays that test your patience. You will face setbacks that question your confidence. People who don't understand what you're building. But hear me clearly. Every dream worth having will demand growth from the dreamer who pursues it. Here's another lesson life taught me the hard way. You don't need clarity for the whole journey. You only need the courage to take that next step. Belief is the succeed. Action is the water. And then consistency is the sunlight. And little by little, the dream grows. That's what this podcast is here to help you do. Take the next step, build momentum, and stay aligned with your purpose. Now, let me share this, not as an expert talking at you, but as a fellow traveler walking with you. I call myself a life architect, not because I have it all figured out, but because I've learned that life can be designed with intention. A life architect, I call myself a life architect, and if you followed me for a while, you know I've used several titles. I've been an author, speaker, writer, coach, teacher, and most of all, a beacon of leadership. And I'm still a life architect as well as a beacon of leadership because I lead by example. I lead by the structure and strategy that I've learned along the way. I lead as a shining example for others to follow, standing tall and resilient, and as a shining light to harbor you along to safe passage. I call myself a life architect because that identity came through rebuilding, through unlearning, through becoming honest about who I was and who I needed to become. I've always had a dream of becoming an architect, but somewhere along the way, you can't help but lose that vision, to lose that faith, and to believe that things aren't meant to be that way. Life takes its toll, but I never give up on the dream. And then I've always wanted to kind of be a teacher. And I've been led back to that in the sense that I am now a teacher of people helping to build their dreams by design, to help them build structure and foundations in their life that are going to build their life according to their own designs. So I am a life architect. I believe, that came again, through honesty about who I was and who I needed to become, like I said. And I believe every person has a calling. And that's how I found my calling. I knew I was not meant to give up on this dream. And so here I am, no longer an architect as my dream called for when I was a child, but the evolution of life allowed me to become a life architect, right? So that was my divine assignment. And you have a divine assignment inside of you, a reason you're here right now at this very moment in history. And when you discover it, you stop drifting and start designing. That's what it means to become a beacon of leadership, not standing above others, but lighting the way forward. This show is about transformation, not just motivation. Here we'll talk about overcoming fear and imposter syndrome, because I have been there. I have doubted myself many times and for a long time before I was truly able to step forward and believe that I am meant to do this. I am meant to be a teacher. I am meant to be an architect. I am meant to be the guiding light, helping you to build your life by design. And then we'll learn about silencing those negative voices, both internal and external, that lead you to self-doubt, that lead you to believe that you're not capable enough or competent enough to take this dream to the next level. You're not the person to carry this dream forward. Let me tell you now, if you're hearing that dream, if it's consistent, if it's telling you again and again and again that this is the vision that you see in your mind's eye, you are meant to carry it forward. You are the person to nurture that dream. And then we're going to break limiting beliefs, those words you've been taught all your life by the people who support you, people who have guided you, those lessons that we took for fact, but truthfully, they were just stories that people were telling you to keep you in the place you are now. But if you're having that vision, you were meant for more. You were meant to nurture and create that vision. So we're going to break down those limiting beliefs in order to build you up. And then we're going to talk about building habits that align with your vision. You have this show, and everything I teach is all about becoming the person who can step forward, who can lead others, who can empower themselves in order to empower others. And yes, we'll talk about leadership, real leadership, not just leading teams or businesses, but leading yourself. Everything starts with you, because personal leadership is the foundation of every great life. So as we begin, I want you to hear this, not as a quote, but as a truth. You were born with greatness inside of you. You have gifts this world needs, and it's not too late to become who your dream requires. And I promise you, I won't just inspire you. I will walk with you. I will challenge you and remind you who you are when you forget. So whether you're just starting out or starting again, welcome home. This is your place to rebuild belief, refocus vision, and reignite the dream. You are not alone. You are part of a growing community of dreamers, believers, and achievers, people who refuse to settle and choose to live on purpose. If this message resonated with you, then I invite you to subscribe to the podcast. Get in on while we're just beginning, so that we can learn the lessons and start to slowly build the foundation that's going to make you the leader who can carry this dream to the next level. And then share this episode with someone who needs encouragement. We want you to build this community out, to take those people along with you who you believe have similar values and who need to build that dream because they've imagined it for so long, but forgot what that dream looks like. And then join me each couple of weeks as we unpack the Dream Builder Blueprint. Together, we're going to learn, grow, and design the life you were meant to live. This is the Believe in the Dream. Dream boldly, believe always, and take action, because your future is waiting.
Thank you for joining me today on Believe in the Dream. Your dream is not just a wish, it's a calling. And the life you were meant to live is waiting for you to believe it, conceive it, and achieve it. If today's episode inspired you, share it with another dreamer who needs that spark of encouragement. Don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review the show. It helps us reach more people who are ready to build the life of their dreams. Until next time, keep dreaming, keep believing, and remember, you are the architect of your dream.